All right, it's time to spin the wheel of problematic and find out what's problematic this week.
Woohoo!
Would you like to do the honors,
Yes.
Nate? All right, go for it.
Never ask. Here we go. Ooh, how timely.
What do we get?
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be timely if it was maybe a week earlier.
Hey,
but
shh. Quiet.
All right.
Quiet. It's within the general time frame.
Love is problematic. We'll discuss that on this episode of Stunning and Brave.
Prophecy foretells of a podcast so stunning, so brave, that it could only ever go by one name. A show so woke that it became its own gender. A show so hot that we'll understand if it turns you gay. You're listening to Stunning and Brave with Chris Cowan and Nate Henderson.
Hey.
What a time to have a belch come up.
What? Yeah.
I could have let you slip on it too.
Thank you, yeah.
It
It could have just been a
nice little
brief
pause or
silence,
something.
but
That's
you had
the
to-
worst though. Like
You had to call me out on my silent burp.
Hey there.
And burps are like farts. I hate going this lowbrow this early
Like
in the show.
right out the gate.
Usually we deteriorate to the
Yeah.
to like
Well,
anything close to fart talk. but,
Maybe if we start here, we'll get to something really highbrow.
I
by
like
the
that.
End of
I
the
like it's
episode.
all uphill from here.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like burps are like farts in that they, the silent but deadly thing applies. Like if I'm holding in my burp and like it's silent,
It's just
it's gonna
yeah,
smell.
just
It's gonna
kinda
smell like
building up.
whatever I just consumed, and it was a pastrami sandwich, which is not that doesn't make for a good burp. Like
no, that's not enjoyable for
if
anybody.
it was candy canes are great burps.
Oh my goodness.
Spearmint gum,
Yeah.
fantastic burps.
Burp all you want.
Yeah, but pastrami,
No.
No.
You got to keep that to yourself.
there's no winners.
Yeah. No,
in-
I'm
in
really
that
glad
kind of
that I'm
burp.
only sitting, a few feet away from you.
Right.
So-
I am Chris Cowan,
I'm Nate Henderson. Hello.
and we are Stunning and Brave. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We are the wokest podcast on the internet.
By far.
It's been certified by several people on Tumblr, so it doesn't get much more woke than that.
No, I think
once
that-
you're
yeah.
woke certified, you get your certification. You're pretty much in the clear. It's like getting a blue check on Twitter.
Yeah.
You pretty much only get that if you are super woke.
Yeah, the wokest of the woke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't just give that to they don't give it to conservatives
Oh no.
unless you have like over 1 million followers. Then they consider
Do
it.
they make an exception then?
But
if you-
yeah, maybe. But
Maybe.
if you're
just maybe.
but if you're clearly left leaning and you've got like maybe a couple thousand followers, they'll toss you a blue check
They'll
mark like
throw you a blue.
like they're handing out peanuts or
No secret fee under the table required.
Yeah.
No okay.
like they got one of those t-shirt launchers with the blue check marks. They'll do that, no problem.
Yeah, you in the back.
I'm still waiting for my blue check with my
Hmm.
not to brag, but I got 1,700 Twitter followers, which is
Do you?
basically like having a $1,700
So, yeah.
salary.
So you're like a
it does you that
You're
much
a
good.
thousandth of the way there.
Yeah.
That's great. Congrats, man.
So I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Still don't have that blue check mark.
Keep reaching for those stars.
So I have to start off this episode
Hmm.
with an apology and a retraction.
What? No,
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
We don't do that on this show.
I
thought
know
we talked about that.
No, see, here's the rule. If you're gonna be woke, you have to apologize for literally every minute
yeah.
perceived misdemeanor. Not just apologize, but grovel.
Okay.
Like,
So you're about to do some
oh
groveling.
yeah, no.
apparently.
If you like,
Oh, this could be-
accidentally,
this could be enjoyable.
misgender a bearded man as a he.
Oh man, shame on you.
You better grovel or you're getting canceled.
Okay.
I did not do that. But what I did do was I besmirched the name of David Crowder. A couple episodes ago, we were talking about that whole.
You did, didn't you?
We were
Yeah.
talking about that whole sloppy wet kiss line from that worship song.
Yes, yeah.
And and I had a couple people reach out to me, and they were like, "That's not David Crowder, actually."
Oh,
David Crowder is
no.
responsible for replacing the lines "wet sloppy kiss" with something a little more palatable.
Okay.
The unforeseen kiss, which I still think is a little rapey, but
the unforeseen kiss, the kiss you just didn't see coming.
right.
Why
But I
not?
could, I feel like an unforeseen kiss from someone you like is still better than a wet sloppy kiss from almost anyone.
Even if you're like ready for a wet
unless
sloppy
it's like
kiss,
your
it's
toddler
not.
and he's like making his first steps over to
Yeah,
you,
and he's
like,
teething. He's got to be teething.
He's teething.
Yeah,
and he's like
no
he's drooling, and he's like, "Oh, you're so excited that he's like walking over to you."
Yes, and you're just
and
like,
then he
you know
just
what?
gives you
I'm
this
just
wet
gonna-
sloppy
yeah.
kiss, and you're like, "Get off me, kid."
You're like,
But-
that's great that you walked and all, but
Yeah. But
yeah.
other than that, like wet sloppy kisses, like
Okay, so that was not David Crowder.
that was not David Crowder.
Did
so
you
now
find
I
out-
should have Googled this.
You would have thought that you'd have this up and ready to go
Yeah,
for your
I
formal
really should have.
retraction.
But we're very stream of
we're
consciousness, consciousness. Very
yeah, the stream's really flowing.
okay. It's called "How He Loves" is the name of the song. But
Is it from that song? I know exactly what song you're talking
so
about.
heaven meets earth like a sloppy wet kiss, and my heart turns violently
Okay.
inside of my chest.
So if I've only heard this song on the radio, they would have already had the modified version, right? Like that's David Crowder. David Crowder
Possibly.
doing the
It
modified
depends on
version.
who's doing it, because like
Okay.
Jesus Culture does the wet sloppy wet kiss version.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
Depends on the version, I guess.
yeah, it does. But it's some guy named Michael. I don't know. He's
Some
he-
guy who's into sloppy wet kisses.
you can't blame me though, because when I look up the song,
no,
it's
yeah.
all David Crowder. Everything that shows up is
Right. He's
David Crowder.
had the most impact, let's say, with that song.
I
as
yeah, I
far as
guess.
that goes.
And
yeah.
he
Yeah.
kind
All
of
right. Well,
okay. It's John Mark McMillan.
John Mark McMillan.
Yeah. And
Well, I know David will appreciate your retraction.
yeah. So David, I know you were super salty about me besmirching you over this song, and
When he called you up after he listened to the podcast with just a profanity-laced rant.
right. I got his lawyer was on the phone with me, like, you need to retract that. This is serious.
This is slander.
And then David Crowder was like, yeah, you need to retract that. I'm going to take a nap because I'm always sounding so tired.
Oh, here comes another phone call.
The vocal grind.
Here comes another
Yeah.
subpoena.
I do not have vocal grind. I'm just really tired. But I was talking to one of my brothers. He heard the episode, not the one who binged everything, but just another brother.
Not the dedicated one.
I have
the one that's just kind of flight of fancy.
I have a surplus of brothers, and
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got like you got a lot.
I've got
of them.
5 brothers.
I never know who you're talking
and
about.
so this one was we had it was a great conversation. We had a great conversation
about David Crowder.
about that song, because my brother is a little more down with it. But that's because, see, the thing is, we're Californians.
Okay.
And my brother lives in like Florida, Georgia,
Where
area.
they give out sloppy wet kisses.
Right, where they
So
greet each other with a wet sloppy kiss.
It makes perfect sense.
No, but he's like Bible Belt. So like he's used to
okay,
like
yeah.
all the super just staunch, like stringent, like if it wasn't written in the 1800s, it's satanic.
Yeah, okay.
kind of churches.
Right.
For the worship songs.
Right.
And
If
so
it's not over 200 years old, I'm not
Yeah.
interested.
And so it's kind of funny. So he's kind of jaded on like all the like stale, like we do not change worship or church or
Oh,
anything
yeah.
for
Okay.
anyone ever, but we will change our church sign into the cheesiest, stupidest slogans every week. And then I'm more California, where
Right.
I'm like, I'm so tired of all this, like, just like over the top, like, yeah, we're all hip and trendy and edgy, and we're
Yeah.
gonna like throw like make out references in our worship songs because that's just like how we roll, bro.
That's just,
That's just how we roll.
I still kiss dating goodbye.
Yeah. I made out with dating goodbye. I fornicated with dating goodbye.
Oh, wow.
No?
No?
Is that
Too far?
No.
I haven't heard anybody say that to this point, but there's probably somebody out there that, has a claim to fame on that.
Oh, man. So for those of you not in the know, you want to explain I Kiss Dating
Dude,
Goodbye?
Look, it was about, I want to say it was over, had to be over 10 years ago.
Oh, it was over 20 years. It was 1990.
Okay, but the only time when I even started hearing about it was, I want to say like in the late 2000s, maybe, was when like everybody in our church just started like reading this book.
Oh my gosh.
And there was all these like it was mainly single women that were reading it.
Right.
And I didn't read a single word of the book, so I don't know, was it geared towards women, or like was it?
No, it's written.
It was just for anybody. And but that's pretty much all I know. But then I heard that it didn't have like very good views on, I don't know, on dating or love or whatever.
Yeah. Well, so
what's fill me in.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Is there going to be another retraction coming?
No. Maybe you shouldn't look to a freaking teenage like homeschool boy for your yes, this is the person I'm going to go to for my relationship advice. A single teenage homeschooled boy is not really going to have the knowledge and experience to
This is a stupid question. That was the author?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
It wasn't just
Joshua Harris.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joshua Harris was a freaking just like.
Dude, are you
I
serious?
swear he wrote it when he was probably like 19, if not early 20s.
He
oldest.
had just his young adulthood is in full.
He just decided,
full effect.
yeah, I'm not doing standard dating, and so he was basically he wrote this book promoting courtship and like group dating and like. Not like going on dates with different people and like just kind of this new kind of conservative Christian.
I did not know that
thing.
I did not know that's who wrote it.
And speaking of brothers, I had a brother who was into that at the time and that kind of thing. I don't think I ever read the book.
You don't think? You would know for sure if you actually read the book. Don't give me this "I don't think" crap. Admit that you did.
It was no, but it is so. That's the thing, though.
Admit that it was worn.
At the time,
pages were torn on your bookshelf.
Right.
All right.
At the time, it was so like it was such a hot thing in all the churches. Everybody
was talking about it. That wasn't like in a relationship.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Yes, this is the way to be." This teenage single homeschooled boy, he has all the answers.
He has all the answers.
And
they don't get into trouble. Those single homeschooled boys.
No. And so it was such a like I absorbed so much of it just through osmosis that it is like I don't think I read it. I'm pretty sure I didn't read it.
You got enough people probably talking your ear off.
Yeah,
about it.
I understand that. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of what it was about
Okay.
just from that. And it doesn't. I think there's a couple things. First of all, yes, he was a teenage boy. He wrote a follow-up book that kind of like downplayed some of his original stuff he was saying. He was just saying that like
it was called "I Actually Kissed Someone, Now I Want to Date."
Right. It was called Boy Meets Girl, and it was how he met his wife.
Right.
And it wasn't that he was like, oh, dating is a sin. It was just like, it's like, junk food and like this other way is probably healthier.
He was really leaning on the Apostle Paul's approach, as far as like
right.
If you absolutely have to,
yeah. But everybody was, and it just to be clear, he wasn't saying like don't get married or anything.
Right,
the point was
right.
choose a different route to get married.
Okay,
instead of
there
just
you go.
dating around and going from boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever. But the thing is, people took that book and they were just like, yes. And this is now law.
This is gospel. This is
gospel. They added it to,
that's the fifth book.
Yeah, right after Revelation. They're just like the Book of Harris and
the Book of Harris.
And
wow.
a lot of people I know of who did follow that method.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't yield particularly better results in the long run. Some of the people I know, like, they still got divorced. And the author himself isn't even Christian anymore. So I don't know.
He abandoned that road.
I don't know. When you get that much fame for something you know nothing about as a teenager, dude, that's got to screw with you, right?
Look, this is the first time I'm hearing that it was written by a homeschooled teenager, man. Like, if I wrote a book and tried to get it published when I was a teenager with my then current teenage thoughts, I'd still be in jail today. Like, there's no way. There's no way that I could form any coherent award-winning bestseller list type thought to put down on page other than just say, hey, girls, boobs, girls.
Right.
So, hey, bully for him that he was able to get a bestseller on there with his 19-year-old self.
I just looked it up, and he was 21.
Still, that is
no 21, no single 21-year-old knows crap about relationships.
Yeah, or life, in general.
I got married at 20.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, at 21, I did not know crap. I did not learn a thing that year. I did not learn a useful thing that year.
Yeah. I can vouch. 21 was not a year of accumulated knowledge for me.
My brain wasn't developed.
It was the id 24/7. That was pretty much, that was it. So good for him. Good for him for, convincing all those Christian singles out there that there's something more to life than just finding your next partner.
Anyways, that was an interesting tangent. It's funny because we were just talking about.
We spun the wheel.
Yeah,
the wheel is guiding our discussions here.
Well, that's true. That is on topic. Dating goodbye. Yeah. So it's just funny. He kissed. First of all, he retracted his book, so he kissed. I kissed dating goodbye.
Did he? He just said, "Yeah, that was a load of crap."
Yeah, and then he kissed his religion
his faith
goodbye.
Yeah.
So,
he's just kissing everything goodbye.
He kissed everything goodbye. That's what he's known for. Like, he's staying on brand at least.
That's true.
You gotta give him that.
He just keeps kissing everything goodbye.
He's just kissing everything goodbye. So
wow. Well,
I wish him the best.
Good luck to him.
That's a lot of fame and fortune and pressure to just be this epitome of knowledge and wisdom at 20
the Christian dating guru.
Yeah. You'd think you'd have a relationship, going that you'd be able to
think about it.
And here's the results. Here's my lovely wife.
But think about how easy it is to write about something when you've never had it in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty smart approach to be like,
I need to get...
Yeah, forget
I'm going to write
dating,
a book
man.
on, nuclear physics. Just
I kiss nuclear physics goodbye.
Yeah. And I
didn't know anything about it in the first place. It was really easy to write.
It's courtship. Nuclear courtship is my new
nuclear courtship.
Don't get physical with nuclear.
Either way,
we'll do a courtship.
Either way, it sounds extremely boring.
See where that goes. We were just talking. Speaking of Christian culture and like the subculture of Christian cult,
right. What has existed in the Christian timeline of
there's been some weird crap.
There's been some weird stuff in the Christian pop culture verse.
Yeah, we were just talking about those songs. The one where it's like Jesus is a friend of mine from the 70s, where it was Christianity was kind of trying to be rock and roll is in. We'll try something, and then they're like,
there was too many pastels for that to be 70s. That had to be 80s.
You think it was 80s?
Oh yeah,
early 80s though.
Yeah, probably. But that they had already.
I know they had the spiked collars and.
That's true. Yeah.
But Christian culture's always been a little behind. Let's be honest.
They've got some wonderful YouTube montages. If you have no idea what we're talking about, what would be the best search term in YouTube? Just.
Oh man,
embarrassing Christian bands or just something
Christian music video fail probably.
Yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
Yeah, throw the word fail in there and Christian music, and you will get a delightful montage of just the absolute.
I feel like ironically,
most atrocious
or coincidentally,
stuff.
or serendipitously,
okay.
One of the best examples of like Christian culture being behind the rest of the world is Left Behind, where if you
there
like whether you're watching the movies from the 90s or the movie from like when was it 2014 or something with
like about
Nicolas Cage
6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Which I never saw. I never saw the Nick Cage
Left
version.
Behind is a little bit behind the times. Yeah.
No, I saw the Kirk Cameron ones. All two of them that they made before I think completely giving up on making it.
I don't know if I saw the second one. I must have. But I don't know. It was.
They had a big plan.
Rough.
They're like big budget for the what was it? Early 2000s, I think was
for an early 2000s Christian movie. It had a big budget.
It had a somewhat sizable
which they
budget.
did not spend on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because the soundtrack was full of like it was basically they're just like rip off the
There's got to be some demo buttons on this Casio keyboard.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty much the quality that
it was like the Wow 98 CD.
The Wow 98. Yes.
all of anyone who like didn't grow up in like Protestant churches has no idea what this episode is about.
This
so
is
far,
mainly
and I'm
for
sorry.
us. We admit that a lot of our episodes are strictly for us.
It's
and
therapy. This is therapy that you guys are tuning into. So just suck it up.
And if you happen to enjoy it, then welcome to the show.
At some point, we'll reference something you understand.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
We'll get there
eventually.
We have to. Yeah. But no, they freaking like ripped WoW 98 for that Left Behind thing, and then just like the acting and effects in all the movies.
I think the reason they stopped after 2 is because that's the point of the book where you really have to start. Or that's the part on the book series where you really have to start kicking up the CGI and the special effects. Otherwise, you just So the first 2 movies were literally just like a drama you could see on TNT with maybe a couple explosions here and there or something. And then like the third book, it's like, oh, this thing comes down from the heavens. And they looked at their budget and they're just like, yeah, no, this is not. We're gonna pump the brakes right now.
They're like, my Commodore 64 just isn't able to handle that anymore.
My nephew just can't generate that on his Commodore 64. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Do you have an in with Weta? Then this is not happening.
Yeah.
And it shows.
I did see the Nicolas Cage one.
Oh, dude.
Oh, we should watch it. It's so bad. It's so bad. The acting, the effects.
Does it happen all on a plane? Because that's seriously.
Yeah. Instead of the books take place over like weeks and months and years.
The first few chapters of the Left Behind
book.
It's
literally like it's a couple hours.
Plane.
It just covers the first couple hours of the rapture.
Maybe they're pacing themselves.
Yeah, I think they were just like we'll license the Left Behind brand, because that old '90s Christian novel is super hot, and Nicolas Cage on his way out. And
on his way out, dude, that guy. Every time I think he must have paid off the IRS by now, I like look at the offerings on direct to.
You look at his IMDb.
Yeah,
what's
and
he working on today?
Oh my gosh, he's got 5 more that I've never heard of, and they're the most independent. Type of movie. The dude, I think, is just in debt to the IRS forever. There's no way he'd keep making these choices.
It's not like a Shia LaBeouf thing where he's just like, I'm giving up the big mega blockbusters and I'm just doing indie films from now on.
That's what you say when you don't.
Because I love the art and.
That's what you say when you stop getting blockbuster AAA jobs.
Yeah.
But, but no, good for him too. But no, I know for a fact, though, the reason Nicolas Cage did 20 years of crap was because IRS was sending him a bill every month.
Oh my gosh.
We're taking your island.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, I missed that version of Left Behind, and now I'm bummed. Where did all the people go?
Yeah. Basically, it was.
Oh, they disappeared.
It was one of those things where it's just like such a failure on every level that it is its own art form, And
those are great.
In that way, it's just beautiful.
Yes, it becomes a work of beauty. Well,
it really is.
That's great.
Anyway, let's move on to our first segment here.
Check your privilege.
All right, this is the part of the show where we check our privilege. It's very important as woke individuals, especially people as privileged as we are, a couple of white, heterosexual, cisgender males. We check every box of privilege that exists, basically.
Yep.
And it's really important that we confess that privilege. It doesn't do anything materially to improve a single thing.
But we wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't have this segment every single episode because it's required. Well, it's required of us.
I mean, how are we going to signal our virtue if we don't start with the most obvious thing, which is like, oh, I'm self-criting and I'm really, examining my internal biases and privilege, and that starts with examining all the privilege I have. And
oh man, so powerful.
It's not like I often compare it to the confessional, where you're like, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." Except there is no forgiveness.
No. It's forgive me, woke culture. I have sinned, but you don't get a response back.
Right. Yeah. It's more like, please don't cancel me.
Right. Please.
Woke culture.
Please.
For I am privileged. Yeah. Beyond my control.
Yeah. And then the woke culture looks at us and says, not today, and then waves the hand, and then we can go on to record another episode. So
yeah. By the skin of our teeth.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I got a couple different. You
got a couple privileges in the hopper.
Yeah, I got a couple privileges I could check. Okay. My son is pursuing acting. And my youngest, he's always been kind of a entertainer type personnel. Excuse me. There goes that sound, but deadly again.
Darn you, Waterloo.
Yeah, this is a particularly peppy brand of sparkling water I'm consuming, and
double carbonation.
Yeah, it's like it's the IPA of
sparkling water of 0-calorie drinks.
Yeah.
Yes, your son has always been very theatrical.
Yeah,
in his.
But he's we've always thought like, oh, he's got this performer personality. Yeah. He'd do great, like if we ever pursued that and stuff. But he was always one of those kids who's like totally great to perform until you're like, all right, perform. And he's like, no, I'm shy.
Yeah, he's not your monkey, dude. Right, what are you? Come on. He's gonna snap your fingers and have him do a song and dance.
Strong-willed individual, yeah. But like recently, just in the last few months, he's really started to like enjoy just the performance and audience and in front of others and that kind of thing. And so we try to gear kind of the way we guide our kids' upbringing and education and all that, kind of around like, well, what are they interested in? And because his older brother is total like nerd coder type, so we kind of navigate around that and put him in coding classes and that kind of thing. And so it's kind of fun to see this kid go in a completely different direction and be like, I'll enjoy acting. And he's like always quoting sitcoms and all that crap, and like he'll just pull stuff out of the hat, and I'm just like, that's
he's
hilarious.
Always watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah.
And so we've had him in an acting workshop, and
cool.
And so just this weekend, I took him to his very first. It was actually an audition for a talent agency, and
an audition for a talent agency.
Yes. Okay. So the agency that.
So like he'd be like in a commercial or something where it says like, I love whatchamacallits. Especially when we plunked down 500 for headshots.
Exactly. So we paid for, it's like a commercial acting workshop and headshots and that kind of stuff. And so he just went to an audition for a talent agency. So we're still waiting to hear back on that. But I was just so proud of him. And also, do you ever get jealous of your kids? just like freaking man, if I had those privileges when I was your age,
I got nobody to blame but myself. I was a lazy video game playing, kid at that age. I still am a lazy video game playing individual. So, if I had my shot at stardom, I didn't take it. Let's just say that.
That's actually true. When I was his age, I was way more shy. I was way more quiet and kind of.
It takes courage, man.
Yeah.
It takes some guts. I was a very shy kid.
Yeah.
Very shy kid. So when you have somebody somebody that's outgoing, that's good.
At a young age, yeah. And so that's part of it. Plus, my parents had 8 kids. I only have 3, so there's a little bit of a difference in terms of
you
what
guys had to really crank the dial if you wanted to shine amongst all your sibs.
Exactly.
You had to go full bore.
Yeah. When I was growing up, actually, my mom always commented on how she didn't say I had no personality, but I was the least. I was in the middle and sharing the middle spot with my sister.
Yeah.
And I was not everyone else had big personalities, just loud, rambunctious, wild and crazy. And I was just kind of introvert, quiet, I'd play by myself, that kind of thing. And so she would always comment on how she was sympathetic towards me, basically for having no personality.
Okay, so she was like, "Man, we should have just thrown you in with the lions earlier."
Right.
It's really motivate that kid.
So it's fun to see my youngest just going for it, just has big personality at an early age,
good
and just
for him
tackling it and stuff. So he did great in his audition.
Do you get to check whatever roles you will not let him play?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you're auditioning for the
horror
roles.
Movies are probably off, or
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how well it pays, because it's totally going to go in his quote unquote college fund.
That reality show. What was that? Kids in Drag. Probably not gonna.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. But that's always the thing. But I figure for the most part, commercials are probably, trying to be a little more
hemorrhoid cream and
stuff.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Ouch,
that hurts.
Cuties 2 is off, I think.
Cuties 2. You made sure to check that, but they had a specific box just for will you allow them to be in Cuties 2. If they check yes, they go to the front of the line.
And then my biggest dilemma was if he ever got a role in I hate tween sitcoms.
Oh, dude, those are the worst.
Tween sitcoms are the absolute worst. And I don't know, because I feel was Boy Meets World that annoying?
Yes, but we didn't know. We ate it up because we were that age.
Okay.
It's not...
Because I feel it wasn't.
Dude, I can guarantee you, if you went back and watched some reruns, you'd be regretting it.
But it also lasted so long, and it followed them through college. So, a lot of my memories are
that's the thing. It's
past when it was a tween show.
You tend to latch onto things that are your own age, and then they grow with you. And then by the time you get to the college years, even if it's obnoxious, you're whatever. I've been with these guys for so long.
Yeah. I guess if he wins some magical role in a tween show, I'll have to allow it.
Dude, that's so funny.
If it pays enough.
I was asked to do a voiceover about a guy who his job was doing podcasts with tween stars. So he would interview tween stars off of Nickelodeon and Disney and blah, blah, blah. So he wanted me to do the intros to these things. He's interviewing such and such from the Thunderments. And it's and I even had to use that. I had to channel that knowledge of just how annoyingly irritating that tone is, because that's the tone he was looking for.
You have to go full annoying.
Match the sitcom. It's just,
oh my god!
And now my kids watch those all the time, and so I'm I'm hearing it constantly in the in the background, and it's don't let Connor go for that. That's not.
Oh man, yeah. But so anyway, so he's it was fun to watch him and vicariously live
That's really cool. That's really cool.
His talent and just kind of see him do that, and he was nervous, but he acted confident and
Good for him,
and
man.
So we'll see how it goes. Maybe it won't lead to anything, and that's fine because give it a try and
get him signed up for some musicals, some plays, and
we'll see where it goes. But so that's what we did this weekend. Was I lived vicariously through my child, as I always do. Really, that's basically fatherhood in a nutshell.
Don't we all?
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
So
I walked in from using the bathroom into our studio here, and I just passed him. He's just on his VR headset, like talking to I think multiple friends who also have VR,
of course,
and like offering them VR tacos. And I'm just like, I'm not in touch with this generation anymore.
I'm not. I'm out. As soon as my son can start offering his friends virtual tacos, I can't relate to that.
VR tacos. I got nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing left to contribute to society.
Go on, son. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Just wheel me into that retirement home.
You seem to have some understanding of current technology. I think you're going to be just great.
I'm out of touch now.
Don't rely on daddy anymore.
Goodbye. Yeah. How about you? What's your weekly privilege?
Well, it's not. I mean, this is super super stupid, but that's why I'm kind of sharing it.
That's what the show's about.
I've been debating about whether or not to go for a new television.
Okay.
Or go for the Xbox. And I realize one is more expensive than the other, and
but it depends on the TV.
I guess it depends on the quality of TV. Okay, let's just say the TV I want is definitely more than the Xbox. Okay.
Good.
So and I already shared with you how much of an abysmal failure my search for getting an Xbox is.
Mm-hmm.
And probably won't be for a few months. So I'm thinking the only alternative right now, or the only good solution, is to go for the TV instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, oh man, I hope Megan doesn't listen to this podcast.
This will be the one that
she just I decided to listen all the way through. This is not a knock against her at all. She does a fantastic job decorating our home.
Okay.
Like she just
every
room, she has this great eye for design, and she just decorates and paints, and she's just extremely good at it.
She's like a regular issue of Home and Garden magazine.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
For our younger listeners, magazines were these. They were kind of like physical books, which are kind of like ebooks,
right?
But they would
Lots
be
of
like
pictures.
Delivered to your page. It's like if someone printed out Pinterest. So, all right, continue.
Yeah, the biggest compliment you could say is it's come straight from the pages of Magnolia. That would just make her day.
Is Pinterest still relevant, or should I say it's like if someone printed out all the photos from your favorite Instagram influencer? Yeah.
Kids, if you're not married and approaching middle age, Pinterest you probably don't have a huge interest in. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I don't know. Don't ask me what's hip nowadays.
I don't know.
But so essentially, because she does such a great job designing, she has worked on every single room. Like there's not a single room that she doesn't want to see as completed vision, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's
even your like special chamber with the like cuffs and whips and leather. Like I noticed
she like designed like a shelf for all the ball gags.
Right. Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Well, and I noticed.
What are you?
I noticed
doing?
That giant like.
I'm already going to be in enough hot water for you to bring that. No, please continue.
I noticed that giant X where you like with the ropes and straps was like shabby chic, which was.
It is. It was. Yes. It was
the
like
swing was like. It looked very, I could tell it was vintage.
She got direct input from Chip and Joe, and they told her what they fashioned. Anyway, so aside from the S&M room, we. She's done. I hate you so much.
I like that I just want to appreciate, the broad gamut of topics we cover on this show. We go from Christian.
It's certainly a
dating literature,
Christian dating literature to
shabby chic S&M rooms. So
I kissed 50 Shades goodbye.
Yeah. You won't get this. You won't get this content anywhere else.
Never anywhere. So. it's all well and good for me because I have no design sense whatsoever. I just let her do her thing, and it looks amazing and fantastic. Right. The what I'm starting to realize is a problem now is that because she does every room and everything has its place and is everything, what she's gone and done with both the TV in our family room and the TV in our bedroom is she has placed very carefully placed frames and decorations around the perimeter of the current TV that is there.
Right. Perfectly framing it.
Perfectly framing the TVs so that it looks like you could take a picture and it wouldn't just be like, it looks very nice.
So if you go like 2 inches bigger, it ruins everything. That's what she said.
If you go 2 inches bigger, it's painful. I mean, from a decorating standpoint.
For the girl.
Yeah, for the girl. Yeah,
so, okay,
it would really hurt her. Jeez, man.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't either. I lost my thought. What are we doing? So that's kind of the problem now is that the TV I'm looking at is about, I want to say, what is diagonal, they measure it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about 10 inches bigger. And so that is.
Wouldn't we all like that, right, guys? What? Okay.
Well, Cowan, when you have nothing to start with, let's see. When the term micro is an adjective you use frequently, no, listen. So if I upgrade the TV, I can tell right away like that it is going to cover half the pictures that she was going for, and so now I feel trapped. I feel like I can't upgrade. So I was actually trying to this is so dumb. She was sitting on the family room couch today, and I come in with my tape measure trying to be all kind of cool.
Yeah.
And and so she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just taking some measurements, just playing it cool, And so I take the tape,
taking some measurements for no reason at all.
No reason at all.
Right.
No, she knows I've had my eye on TVs, but I don't think until I explained to her, okay, it's going to be a bigger TV. I was too cowardly just to come right out and say, "Babe,
I've been there.
You have to rearrange all these photos on the wall because it's not going to work for this one that I want to bring in." So I start doing the tape measure, and I extend it to 10 inches, and I put it right on the side of the screen, and I'm hoping that she's going to be like, "Well, what are you measuring out?" So I can actually start the conversation. So I'm just kind of like, just kind of humming and hawing, hoping that she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Well, if I did get a new TV, this is about the size we're looking at." And she's like, "Oh, so you're not getting one the same size?" No, it's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be bigger. And I'm like, "How would you feel about that?" And so her big thing was, how much room does it take up on the stand that it's on there? Because if it's completely overwhelming the thing we have it on,
you can't extend past the stand.
You can't. No.
Can't do that.
No. And it wouldn't.
That breaks some invisible rule that women have.
So you want to talk about just stupid privilege. She's like, "Well, you wouldn't have room for all your devices." And I'm like, "Well, I'd buy some other devices that would help me consolidate."
Yes. I got that figured out. Don't you worry, honey.
I've got that locked, honey.
Yes.
Don't you worry about it. So, hopefully, I'm hoping she'll agree to destroy the frame that she has going on right now, because I felt kind of bad about.
Here's the good news.
Asking her,
and you know this.
Yeah,
she is in her heart a decorator.
Yes,
she is going to rearrange those decorations.
Right.
Within
the
next few months
or years.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's true.
So all this does is it gives her another project.
It forces her hand.
Honestly, it's really a favor to her, because it's fulfilling for her to decorate and redecorate.
I'm engaging her creative side.
Women are constantly women who decorate are never done decorating.
Oh, never.
They decorate and then they cycle back.
Dude,
it's like the Golden Gate Bridge, how they're always painting it because it always needs to be repainted.
I'm not kidding when I say forget kissing, dating goodbye, you could write a bestseller on that nugget of truth.
Right.
Because when women women have a home that they feel they can make their own.
Yeah.
The decorating never ends. It is always a process in motion. It will never stop. Ever.
And the worst is, hey, don't buy a home. Because you know what else?
Not just decorating.
Now you're remodeling.
Yes. Now we're in renovation territory.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you walked through our current renovation on your way to this studio. We have done remodeling. We just constantly been doing remodeling for the over 2 years that we've lived here. And it's just, there's always something
gosh, that's so true.
Especially our house is over 50 years. So, there's going to be things that need updating.
You're going to want to upgrade some things.
And I'm a guy, I'm just a clueless dude who I didn't know that, orange Formica counters
Formica.
And
I don't know anything about designing, man,
and cabinets with crooked handles. That's
They're
fine.
No, that's the style.
Can I put a jar of peanut butter in it? Cool.
Can we cover up the sugar products that
right.
are in our... so my one saving grace is that we are renting. And if we weren't renting, I would be decimated.
You'd be in the same place.
Our account would be just decimated. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's pay off some bills. And then let's spend that same amount on the laundry room, but it's fun. But the bottom line is you'll be okay.
Okay.
Get that TV.
Okay. See, and that's what I needed.
You'll be okay.
That's what I needed to bring up because I needed that reassurance that it was an okay thing to do. I'm like, I've given you. I will always be your guy. I appreciate
if you need moral support on new electronics crap.
Well, because you try so hard not to fly off that and just be like, you have the whole house. Hey. You have the whole house and I have this one thing.
I got to justify my purchases. So if you're doing it too.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
It helps me too.
We can take the jump together. I like it.
Yeah. But I've told you about my dilemma with my TV is I've got a great TV. It's
an excellent TV.
It's a 60-inch TV and it's totally fantastic. And but I have a problem because we've actually talked about what if we got a bigger TV? What if we got they go up to 85 now. 85. They I saw at Costco, they got the 85 inchers. Then
do they make 85 in 3D, Chris?
No. See that brings me.
Is that what your dilemma
is? That brings me to my dilemma. I always say,
tell me that is your dilemma.
That is my dilemma.
It is a dying technology, my friend.
Shut up. My dilemma is.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil your thing, but I always say, so help me. If his dilemma is not being able to get 3D in his giant TV,
that is 100% it. I have no shame. Shut your mouth. I always tell my wife, if the house was on fire and everybody was safe, I'm saving that TV.
I'm getting that TV.
I'm saving that TV.
You can't find that.
You cannot find that TV. It's 4K and 3D. It's the only TV that does that. And they don't do 3D anymore. It was
right before they put the brakes on the 3D craze.
I will if it's a choice between that and my cat, I'm
gonna seriously debate.
Sorry, Fluffy, you're on your own.
So sorry. Well, the cat has legs. He can get out of the house.
The TV has legs, but they don't work. So I'm carrying the TV.
You gotta rescue the TV.
And but see, that's my dilemma. Is now I'm stuck. I can't upgrade to a larger size or any newer
3D.
Technology.
Dude, you will.
Oh, come on! You use the 3D with me. Look, you're a party to this.
I understand. Look. One of the coolest experience I've had at a home theater is watching Top Gun in 3D. I'm not gonna lie. not gonna lie.
Right.
It was pretty amazing.
You're welcome.
I understand. But for me, man, if I had the opportunity to go for an 85-incher and unfortunately lose the 3D feature.
Oh, no.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
No, because see, for me, I like 3D more than 4K. If it's a choice between 3D and 4K,
so you really value that.
3D is just so much more immersive and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think what I would have to do is it wouldn't be our main TV anymore, but I'd have to find a way to still keep that TV like as an active TV, and somewhere in the house where it's accessible for my 3D movies. Because I watched a lot of 3D movies.
Maybe you could start a museum that featers only 2008.
Yeah. No, I'll just hook up my VHS player and
yeah, there you go.
No, but it's we watch a lot of 3D movies together. I watch it with my kids a ton. Like, it's still happening. I don't care if it's dead.
I love it.
I don't care if it's dead.
Dude, I'm envisioning a fictional situation 5 years ago when all these Blu-ray authors, they're just like, they read an article. Oh, crap, they're putting the brakes on 3D stuff.
Right.
What are we going to do with all these 3D movies that we've printed?
Right.
And then 5 years later, Cowan basically has owned them all to some extent. Your collection of 3D movies is very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I've got a pretty good collection of them.
All
so.
Right.
But yeah, so anyway,
dude,
so that's my thing.
I hear you.
That's my first world problem there.
That's a big first world.
But the bottom line is, you get that TV.
I'm going to.
You deserve it.
I do.
You do.
I do.
And then when the Xbox Series X is more available, you get
I'm
that
gonna snag
too.
that. Well, I have to. I have to consolidate the space.
All right, let's move along.
The Social Net Jerk.
All right.
You mean we actually have time for more show?
We're just gonna cram it in there.
Okay.
That's how dedicated I am to.
That's the rule of thumb, apparently.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes before it's like an hour-long show.
Okay.
And we've been going over.
Yeah,
it's a podcast,
I like initiating administrative discussions here in the middle of the podcast.
Oh,
that's
totally.
That's my
podcasts
job.
are like HBO shows or Netflix shows or anything. They don't have to be a particular.
Like a strict.
It's not like
time.
network shows where like you gotta cram that into 22 minutes,
baby. Yep.
So we can
All right,
stuff
let's
in
go
some
for
toothpaste commercials. So this is the part of the show where we peruse social networks for people just kind of making a fool of themselves. You wanna take this one? This one's a story. It's a ballad.
With pleasure.
All right.
And this one totally happened.
Oh yes.
Here we go. Starts. There is this one girl who rejected my advances back in early college days. She wasn't aware I come from a very rich background. Seen her in town today with her husband and a baby. They were wearing... that's right. He didn't believe in punctuation.
Right.
With her husband and a baby.
Somehow your very rich background didn't pay for...
a good grammar
basic,
education. Yeah, by Grammarly. They were wearing market stall clothes, high-tech shoes, Primark handbag. Even the baby stroller looked like it was from the 80s, LMAO. I just laughed in her face rather sheepishly. If she had accepted me back in the day, then today she'd be wearing designer clothes, croc skin handbag, hire a nanny to push the baby around, be driven around by a chauffeur, dine in posh restaurants instead of McDonald's. Bet she regrets it big time. Ha ha! God, I love being rich.
What? Okay, obviously there's a lot to
unpack.
There's a lot to unpack here, but my favorite part, the real dead giveaway that this is,
that it did not
as if
happen.
It wasn't already obvious that this is complete BS.
This is total fan fiction of him for himself.
He's like, and then I woke up from my dream, but the laughed in her face rather sheepishly.
Yeah,
part.
Struck me as
how do you do that? How do you laugh in someone's face?
You go right up to somebody and you go.
That's how you.
And then you laugh like a total creep, and then back away.
That's how you know this was written by a total soy boy. When you.
I laughed in her face rather sheepishly.
I laughed in her face rather sheepishly.
Wow!
What?
This guy.
That's like I punched him in the face sheepishly.
Yeah, really gentle like.
Yeah. I kicked him in the balls sheepishly.
Yeah, this guy wrote his own ego boost this day. It was. I
love if there is any truth to this, all this says is I'm a completely unlikable douche.
Oh yeah,
who thinks he's well off.
Let's never be friends.
Living off of daddy.
Yeah,
and I have no balls because I laugh in people's faces sheepishly. So
I'm gonna paraphrase. Oh my gosh, this girl rejected me back in college. She's all like happy with her husband, and they've got a kid. They've enjoyed creating life, and they've got this wonderful bond together.
Yes.
Oh man,
she doesn't know how good it is living in my parents' basement of the mansion
in isolation.
Yes, in isolation, while I think about all the lovers who spurned me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I said to somebody on the chat thread, I was like, this is gonna be volume 1 of like 30,
right?
Like this is, I can guarantee you, he's got a fake story for every girl that quote unquote rejected his advances back in early college days,
right? If you're saying that you laughed in someone's face sheepishly, all you mean is that you the only thing about that's true is the sheepish part,
right?
And that you probably just laughed in your head.
Yeah, or your dream.
Right.
Where this happened.
Right.
Wow.
I feel like sheepish, like... I don't know a lot of, like, alpha males who use the word sheepish, like, in reference to themselves. Like, if you're using the word sheepishly to describe anything you did, you are not a man.
Yep.
You are a very effeminate boy. I feel like that's all there is.
I think you're spot on.
That's all there is to it.
Wow, loser.
Alrighty. This is a fun one. All right, so it's a thread.
I did not see this one coming.
Twitter thread. All right, so first person. Someone has now stolen my car battery. LOL. I'm so tired. Can I please catch a break? Just got to vent it on Twitter like you do.
Well, yeah, that's an upsetting thing.
And then this next person, Addison Angel, who literally puts in their user, in their name on Twitter, wear a mask.
Go.
Like, really, you're going to put that in your name? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
She says, please do not call the police. You could put... BIPOC, BIPOC.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I understand POC, but what's BIPOC?
Black or indigenous person of color is what BIPOC stands for.
Pure. Okay, all right, continue.
You could put.
Sorry, I asked.
So please do not call the police. You could put a BIPOC's life at risk by causing a police interaction.
What?
Just buy a new battery.
What?
So, as the next person points out, no one said anything about race.
Nobody
said a black man now stole a black or indigenous person.
I bet you
stole my car battery.
Bet you the guy who stole it was black.
Right. Nobody said that.
Nobody said that at all.
This woke biatch is just assuming that, well, of course it was a black person stealing the car battery.
She's just going.
And I'm gonna fight for that. I'm going to go full racist in order to protect.
This is hysterical, man.
That person's
in order to protect them, I must offend them.
So her response, no, someone else chimes in. No one said anything about race. Mm-hmm. And her response is, well, we all know it wasn't a white person who took it.
Oh,
whoever took it was in need. It's not like they're stealing diamonds. Wow.
What?
So first of all,
I don't know what to think about that, man.
Only black people steal car batteries is the takeaway here. White people are never in need.
They steal diamonds.
Right.
Yeah.
White people only steal diamonds. Yeah. Black people steal car batteries, and it's only ever black people.
Yes. Only white people organize those really high-class
I'm sorry.
heists.
I've met too many Russians to believe that, so... I'm sorry, it was a joke.
Cowan, I was going to ask you, when are we doing our next diamond heist? Because that's apparently the only thing that we're going to be stealing.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
We should watch Ocean's 11 again.
I think we gotta do the Ocean's 15.
The Ocean's Marathon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe we'll watch the one with the chicks in it too.
Okay, Addison.
Yeah. So I love when white people go full racist,
right? By trying to
under the guise of being anti-racist.
Yep.
And that's what so much of like.
It happens so much nowadays.
If you don't understand why people could be the anti-racist movement, this is why.
Oh yeah.
No, like both sides want to end racism, but the many of the people who are like, I'm anti-racist, their way of ending racism is to just be more racist.
Right.
So like this is a great example. Another example I love is that whole Latinx thing. Have you seen that?
Right,
where instead of Latina or Latino,
then everybody's just
Latinx.
Yeah.
Most Latinos and Latinas, most Hispanic people are like, that's bullcrap.
Yeah.
Call us Latino or Latina.
We don't like that term.
Yeah. It's mostly white people who are trying to virtue signal and be woke, who are all like, I'm going to call them Latinx. Yeah, but I'm Latino.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's sexist. So I'm going to overrule your entire culture so that I won't be sexist or racist.
That's a good point.
And yeah, just keep chasing that. Keep chasing that woke monster.
Yep.
You'll catch it someday.
Yeah. Just keep digging.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure you'll get to the other end.
All right. Well, this brings us to our last segment.
Ugh, that's problematic.
This is the part of the show where, as we started at the very beginning of the show before the intro music, we spun the giant invisible wheel of problematic and landed on this week's topic, and it is love. Love is very problematic, I think. Did you? We just had Valentine's Day. Did you do anything nice for Valentine's Day? What'd you do for Valentine's Day?
I gave my wife some flowers.
Good for you.
No, we went
bare minimum, but
we
good.
didn't. We don't like to usually go out to like dinner on actual Valentine's Day. We went on a nice date like a week ago, and that was nice. Look, every day is Valentine's Day. No, I know. I hate myself for even saying that. What did you guys do? You guys went on a little outing, right?
Yeah, we actually. It's been, as you know, it's been a really rough life, but but in particular, it's been a really rough week, and so we were able to get a break from it all.
Nice.
We went to a brewery was actually having a comedy show.
Really?
And it was kind of awesome. It was really kind of refreshing to just like go to like a show.
You don't mean like open mic. You mean like
no, like it was an actual like some comedians
a
from LA who were tired of performing on Zoom.
Oh, that's awesome.
Came in. It wasn't a huge audience.
Yeah, still though.
And
those are neat.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. We were laughing the whole time, and
it's awesome.
And it was definitely a fun lineup,
a needed escape.
Yeah. And so that's how we celebrated. And of course we did some flowers and treats and cards and all
the stuff,
all that jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, you have some Valentine's Day stories that you've told on our previous podcast, but we can save that.
Yeah, we'll probably share those other times.
Yeah. But one thing we do like to do when we're trying to figure out what is problematic about love is put it out to our listeners, our community. We
have community.
A group on Facebook called the Stunning and Brave Autonomous Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of put it out there. What do you guys think is problematic about love? You wanna take one?
Yeah, April says it's too often compared to nature, like rivers, oceans, birds, rabbits. And that's offensive because they did not give their consent to be marginalized, mocked, or disparaged in such a way. By perpetuating the blatant naturism that is systemic in our society, we are furthering the ignorance of our cultural world.
Wow.
That is, and you get bonus points for always including systemic.
Yes.
In your comment. If anybody can shoehorn the word systemic into their complaint, then they get bonus points.
I think so. That's a great call out there. We need like a bingo card with like some of these words.
With like buzzwords.
Systemic.
We had it for a previous.
Yeah. Back with Pop Mockers, we did have one. Yeah.
We had a Pop Mockers bingo card.
We need to bring that back.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's a great point. Stop comparing love to nature. Okay, nature is its own thing. Birds don't want to be compared to your makeout session.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your mushy human feelings.
Yeah. Stop with all the water and weather analogies. Come on.
My love is like two rabbits humping.
There's a married person who says people that can't find it won't shut up about it.
Oh.
And there's a single person who says, and those who have it won't shut up about it either. So that's a fair point.
I like it.
Shut up about love.
You just shut up.
Yeah.
I like Jacob's is so bleak. It is a weakness that your enemies can exploit. Man, I don't want to hang out with your friends.
That's true.
Jacob, that's yikes.
Bradley lays it all out. It's love, dummy. Love is love. How can't you get this already? Let me say it again. It's love. Which is an excellent commentary on just like people throw out the word love like it's some kind of like trump card, as if we all are operating off of the same definition of love. The Hebrews had 5 words for love.
Yes.
And we just have the one, and it gets used to refer, anything from clothes to cars to people,
Yeah.
It can mean lust, it can mean infatuation, or it can mean like lifelong commitment. So love is love, though. So
love is love.
Love is love.
Love.
Yes.
Yes.
Love trumps hate, and I will hate anyone who tries to trump my hate with their version of love.
I think we've used the word Trump too many times to not anger people on this podcast.
Probably. Once is too much.
Right.
Let's see here.
We're kind of jumping all around, but that's okay.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Robert says love is problematic when people measure it unconditionally. That's a point. That's actually a good point, because we're always like, oh yeah, love each other unconditionally. But can you actually do that? Like, honestly, like if your wife suddenly became a homicidal like killer,
and
started like,
if she locked me and the kids in our house and then set the perimeter on fire,
right?
It'd be hard for me to keep loving her at that point.
I kind of feel like, if you found out like she was just skinning puppies alive, like I kind of feel like at that point I'm like,
because alive makes, well, I guess it does make it worse. Anyway,
it does make it worse.
It makes it so much worse.
It objectively makes it worse.
I'm just glad you made sure to get all the qualifications in that scenario. That's really great.
Megan, I know you would never do that, okay?
Never, ever.
I'm not implicating you.
If anything, it'd be cats.
No, right. But I feel like, and then maybe that goes back to how you define love, because, maybe you'd be like, I love you, but also you're going to prison, or I might shoot you.
Yeah, I'm never going to see you
depending on
again.
the level of threat.
I'm never going to see you again for the horrible things you've done.
Right, yeah.
But,
I'm going to love you. This is tough love. I'm going to shoot you in the face in self-defense.
And it's tough for me to do.
Yeah, it's tough. It's real tough.
Yep. But it needs to happen.
But I don't know. It's the unconditionally part is always. I'm like, well, yes, but I guess that's where there's love, but then there's boundaries. We're getting real philosophical here, because you can love someone but still be like, I'm going to set up some boundaries here. One of those boundaries is not skinning live puppies.
Yeah, I've just got kind of this basic rule, that we don't skin puppies.
Yeah, at least put the puppies down.
Yeah, I've got this.
Put them down,
Just
humanely, And then we could talk about the whole skinning thing.
Yeah, if you still need those moccasins, then we'll talk. But
fresh puppy moccasins.
Wow, this just got so dark, so incredibly dark.
Oh, what else we got here?
Speaking of dark, well, I could mention Anne's to finish it up. But,
there we go.
Yeah, Anne, this makes me raise an eyebrow. She says, apparently you can fall out of it. And that's it. That's it.
She just leaves it there.
That's going to make the next friends and family gathering not awkward, Anne. Thank you. That's great.
Right. I think Jacob wins the prize there.
Yeah.
It's a weakness that your enemies can exploit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the most problematic
thing
about it.
I love that.
I feel like
that is borderline Shakespearean right there.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people are afraid of. Like, oh, well, we can't show love to those people because then they'll get more political power.
Right.
So we need to hate them and throw feces at them.
Oh,
literally or figuratively.
Right, metaphorically.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's clearly problematic.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, we certainly hope that you all enjoyed your Valentine's Day. But, but I think we've clearly outlined that.
Yeah.
It'd probably be best if it didn't happen again.
Right.
So.
Well, and I think as one of the earlier points brings up, like, love is a privilege. Like, if you have love in your life, that's a freaking privilege, and you should feel terrible about it.
You should.
Because not everybody has that, and that makes you really, you need to self-crit. You need to reflect on that privilege and do something about it.
And kiss dating goodbye.
Yeah, probably kiss dating goodbye. And maybe like find some kind of incel and make out with them. I think that's probably what you got to do.
Find some incel.
Yeah. Involuntary celibate. Do we know what that means?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. There we go. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this weird episode. It wasn't that weird. It wasn't that weirder than normal.
This is par for the course.
This is par for the course.
Yeah.
We always love having you with us, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
If you're not telling everyone about this show, you're probably a potophobe and a Nazi. Don't be a potophobe. Tell your friends and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you subscribe.